Welcome to the channel. In today's video, essentially we are going to go step by step through how a league works. I understand, I've talked to a couple new players, and you look at this, you have to pay 12,500 gold. That could be a lot of gold, especially if you're just starting out. But eventually, I assure you, you just keep playing every day, do those dailies, and you end up getting so much gold you don't know what to do with. And the reason to play League is essentially you always make back your gold at the end of the league. And what I mean by that, if you just went to the store and bought a pack, one pack is 1,000 gold here. Now, for League, what you do is at the start of the month, it's monthly League, and it's separated into 4 weeks. And essentially you pay 12,500, you get this free card back, which just looks cool, and you get to collect them. And then you'll start off, you see here, there's a green check mark. You'll start off with 8 packs, and if you hover over it, it tells you which packs those are. And out of those 8 packs, you'll build a 45 card limited deck. And obviously you get to add sigils as normal. And then each week of the month, you add 2 packs on top of that. Now, by the 4th week end of the league, you keep all of these cards. So you get 8, 10, 12, 14 packs, which if you went to the store and buy them, it would have cost 14,000 gold. So you essentially get 2 free packs plus the card back. And what ends up happening is there are prizes awarded. And if we go down to even, let's say just join the league and you don't even play, usually you end up in this tier right here. There's not that many people that we even resort to this prize ranking. So generally, at the end of the league, you'll get a premium uncommon, random, and then 7 packs. So that'll be a total of 7 plus the 14 you get here. That'll be 21 packs plus a premium card back for only 12,500. So normally for 21 packs, you would be paying 21,000. So you're getting a wicked good deal. You get to play in League where your opponent's decks are all going to be roughly your same power level because they're restricted to these packs as well. And that way you don't go up against somebody and they have like 20 legendaries. So it kind of evens out the game for you that way if you're newer. That's basically why you should care about League. I think it's one of the more fun ways to play. Like I said, if you don't keep up, you're just playing the game casually. Not only are you getting more packs for your gold, you're also getting to play fun games with decks similar to yours. Once again, you get so much gold, just, figure out how to spend it. So here we go, we get the free card back, and this has to be one of the dopest card backs I've seen. I'll definitely be using this. I love like the constellation type vibes we get there. I wish that was just a whole card. But we'll snap that up, and here we go, we get our 8 packs right here. And now we'll go straight in and open them. And the basics of how you should build a League deck, what you want to look for. You want to look for removal, which are cards that kill, bounce, permanently stun, deal 4 damage to a unit. Anything that can remove their unit from the field is considered removal. And that's a very powerful effect that you want to have in your deck. In addition to removal, you want what's called bombs, which is basically a bomb is a unit or a spell that can win you the game by itself or greatly turns it in your favor. So think Steel Hellkite, the 7 cost 7/7 flyer with Overwhelm. I think that all starters basically get that in their card pool. So think of cards like like that. And usually the bombs will be at rare or legendary. Obviously, we just got a power card. Just it's good. It's just a sigil, except better because you can amplify to get that relic. But not the rare you're looking for when you're doing these sealed leagues. So basically what I do is I'll keep track in mind, like, okay, what are the good cards I want to look out for? Because when you go to build your deck, you're going to want to make it 2 factions. Not 3, not 4, not 1, but 2 factions. And you always want to keep to that general rule of thumb. Basically, the only thing I'm seeing here is Danglo Racketeers, but it is 2-factioned, so that's a heavier restriction than if it was just a good Justice card. Rule Disguises are only removal. 3 power, deal 2 damage to an enemy unit. If that has flying, you deal 6 instead, so that could even kill a giant dragon that they have. So we do have removal and primal, but this isn't the best one. Still removal though, so you'll take it. And then we get a ruin here. So I'm looking, maybe we get Justice Shadow or Primal. Okay, legendary, nope. Minister of Obiance, if you're able to get to 8 power, you can amplify it and it turns into removal attached to a unit, which is amazing. But it is very expensive, but still a good card. Mod Ready Drone is another just solid unit. We got a Boiling Geyser, deal 1 damage to an enemy unit that was played this turn. It costs 1. You can't see it because the face cam's blocking it. Growing Sludge, another good unit. At the start of your turn, if it's hidden, he gets +4/+4, and that just keeps happening. So generally, you wait till it's a 9/9, and then you just start swinging with it. Rolling Flog, Elsian Blueprints, a fine card if you're in time Primal. Oh no, another power card. Okay. So, a couple more things to keep in mind. Okay Justice unit, okay Time unit, another mediocre Primal removal. Premium Topple. Topple is removal, good removal. It kills the thing with the highest power, and usually the thing with the highest power is the thing you want to kill. So there we go. That's definitely a pull into Justice. Surprise Raid, another good 2-faction card. Gnashing Displacer can be okay. Another Growing Sludge. Orin Brute's just a fine unit. And this guy, this rare you would think of as 6-cost rare that he would be pretty good, but he's usually just a 6-cost 6/3 that gains you some life. It's just a fine unit. Okay, Ruin, another good 2-faction cards. You'll notice the 2-faction cards are usually stronger than their single-faction counterparts, just because you need more specific influence to actually play it. Noble's Enforcer, Spear Frenzy Warrior, Behold the Truth. Overthrow, more removal. Oh, there we go. Okay, and a lot of our, that mediocre removal that I was talking about was in Primal. So when you attack with exactly 2 units, they get +1/+1 and Overwhelm just this turn. Draw a card, then discard a card. So you get to, that's called looting, is usually what people refer to that as. So you just get to draw any card and then discard the worst thing. So at least one of our 4 first rares was good. So now, like I said, you're keeping track of all of these pulls you're getting. Now it's like, okay, Justice and Primal. Let's see if we pull anything of other factions that would kick us off of it. Okay, some fine units, nothing insane. Give one of your units Overwhelm and Quick Draws. Okay, combat trick. Flying Berserk. A couple weapons. Now we pulled a legendary here. Let's hope it's crazy. Zubiri, Outlands Warlord. When it attacks, a top unit of your deck gets plus power equal to his power. Inspire units you get deal double damage. Okay. This is going to be a tough one, because that is the definition of a bomb right there. He could just, giving all of your units double damage, he could win the game on its own. But it might be difficult because I haven't seen too many other decent red cards. Surgeon Saw is very powerful, but we haven't seen too much other Shadow. Create and draw 2 7/7 Sandworms. It's a good card, but so far we haven't seen too much good time. So you see, we're going to be in a bit of an issue here. Okay, decent Justice unit. Yeah, man, a lot of our fire has been... This card's very strong, but we haven't gotten too much other good time or Shadow. Here's removal, but it's only 2 damage. Strangers have Overwhelm, but really you'd just be playing this for 6 cost 7/7 with Overwhelm. Okay, last pack. Let's see. Oh, there we go. Justice Primal. Give the student Aegis. Yeah, that card's really good. Another good Shadow Primal. Shadow Justice. Find some good units here. Ooh, Mortar's a good card too. Okay. So who knows, maybe we might be able to do Fire Primal instead of Justice Primal. Because deal 4 damage. Now this is a really good removal spell. So basically, we're definitely playing Primal. And let's just pretend we're going to do Fire Primal. So what I'll do is I'll start with what I kept in mind we were going to build. And then you're going to go through all of your cards and you're going to put in all the decent to very good cards that you open. So deal 1 damage usually isn't... I wouldn't consider that removal just because not many people play 1 life things. It happens, but not too rare, so I tend to start this not in the deck. So 2 cost unit, sure. Sack unit to deal 3 damage to a unit. That's only going to be good if you're maybe making a lot of units or a lot of small 1/1s, but we don't have too many cards that do that. So another 2 cost unit, sure. Ruination Sledge, that could be good if we have some flyers. That way they can't block the 3 power too well, but the 1 health is kind of rough, so we'll leave that for now. Trick Shot's an okay combat trick, we'll put that in. 2 damage for 3 is expensive, but you know, we can't be... So Manufacture here, create and draw 3 1/1 Grenadines, that's something that you can combine with Consuming Flames, but not a great card on its own, so we'll leave that to the side. 3/1, maybe 1 mediocre Forge. Actually, no, because Spear Frenzy Warrior is way better. Our legendary summon deal 1 damage to an enemy. That's extremely mediocre. And then we have Play Gun Down. It's for Spellcraft 1. It's fine. Ugh. Okay, so let's see. That was pretty much all of our fire. Let's go through Primal. So Boiling Geyser, that's removal. Bottled Insight, usually you end up pretty, you know, you're scraping the bottom of the barrel as far as like good cards the first week of League. So it makes you be creative with your card selection. So Bottled Insight, it's just 1 power to draw a different card. That could be one of those extra spaces we fill in. 2 cost 2/2 is good stats. Same Trailblaze goes for Bottled Insight. 3 cost guy, Rolling Fog. Solid card, removal, solid unit, solid unit. That unit's very good. 5. to each unit and the enemy player. That could be tough just because it can kill a lot of our stuff. Add our good multi-faction guys. And then I forgot also what I usually do is I'll just add the power at the start just because it makes it easier to look at your deck count to know how much you need to add. So generally you play 17 or 18 sigils. So you still need 6 cards. So let's add in a Bottled Insight. I have a decent amount of 4s, so I don't really want to add anything else. So here's just a 2-cost 2/2. That's fine. Okay, maybe we'll put in the Agile Strike. So you're starting to see we might not be able to, I guess, 3 1/1 Grenadines. That seems pretty meh to me. Okay, we'll add another 4. I'll add the 6. I'm not liking this too much. You see, we've had to put in a lot of mediocre cards, I would say. Oh, I didn't mean to put in that 7-cost thing. We'll put in the 2-cost Draw and Scout. And that's essentially this version of the deck here. Nothing too spectacular. We can kill a lot of small units here with this build. But I feel like our fire isn't bringing too much to the table. So let's see if we take out all of our fire cards. So we need to add 14 cards. So let's pretend we were going to do Justice, which was one of our options. So this is a weapon I really like because it's either +1/+2, which is solid stat buff, or if you have more power later in the game and you draw it, you can spellcraft it to silence and stun something, which is usually pretty good in the late game. 2-cost 2/3 is good stats. 2-cost 1/3 is mediocre, but the fact that it can block on turn 2 and then later in the game you can ultimate paying 6 to make it a 3/5, that's not half bad. So we like cards that are good in the early game and good in the late game. Those are the kind of cards you want to keep in your mind. Guard Dog 3-cost 3/3 maybe gets a buff. Mod Ready Drone we like. Premium Topple, Overthrow, both good removal spells. Sure. 5-cost unit here. Create and draw a 2/2 soldier. 8-cost 5/6. Eesh. That's not where we want to be. So essentially by Justice we get some okay early units and some solid removal. But that's really it. I forgot we have the dual faction. This guy. We have Uhuru Blueprints. We also do have Primal Sketch, which is, as we were saying, a really powerful rare, even if it's just kind of like takes the place of a sigil. The issue, we're still 4 cards away. We have some good removal, but we would need to put in a lot of mediocre cards to make this good. So we're going to take out all the Justice, and even though I think we'll end up leaning Justice once we get to the next packs, I don't think it's going to work for this one. So let's toss something together briefly here. Put in that. Telekinetic Shackles, 2-cost 2/2. A decent weapon. 3-cost unit. Draw a power card from your deck. Nope. Nurturing Sentinel blocks well and gets us sigils. Wormcalling strong. I don't think we have enough spells to play Wormstone. Mediocre 5 costs. And the 2 growing sludges and our rare. Pretty low on playables. How many units do we have here? 18 units. But this gives us a lot of finishers in terms of like Wormcalling, Growing Sludge. You know what? I think I like this. And I think that's pretty strong early in League when people aren't going to have the greatest removal. Oh, we still need one more card, though. What did we miss? Did we have like a lower cost unit? So you don't want gain life for each attacking unit, just because that doesn't help you deal with any of the units. So even if you use that to soak up some damage, you still just end up dying. Oh, Elysian Blueprints. There we go. Let's fit in the ruins and the sketches. So you got one Ruin of Trickery, one Primal Sketch, so we'll add in both of those. Take 2 sigils. These are just better sigils, so you always want to play all of them that you open, assuming you don't have only these, because they're depleted if you didn't play a sigil already. But if you just got 1 or 2, toss them in there. That you can get a lot of extra power over your opponent's decks when they aren't doing that, because when you draw these late in the game and you don't have anything else to do, it's essentially a free spell attached to your sigil. Yep, we're basically... Actually, we're exactly 14 and 14, so maybe take out 1 Time Sigil, 1 Primal Sigil. And that looks pretty damn good to me. Just to summarize briefly, so basically we kept our eyes on what our stronger cards were. Ironically, Primal was pretty good. We saw a lot of playables in the Primal faction, so that's our main faction. And we were hovering between Fire, because of the bomb that we opened, Justice, and Time. And essentially, Fire besides that bomb was kind of mediocre. I still think it could have been a good deck, and maybe if this is bad, you can always switch decks at any point in the league. So that's a strong second. And Justice had really strong removal and good units, but we just didn't have enough cards in those 2 factions to make 45. That's why Justice didn't make it, even though all throughout the pack openings, we were like, ooh, our Justice is pretty good. That's kind of the thought process. Our final deck has 17 or 18 power. Essentially, I'm playing 17 because we have a Blueprints, which just draws a sigil from your deck. So it kind of takes the spot of one of our sigils. We have a decent amount of units, 18 units to 10 other non-unit cards, and we have a solid curve of creatures. You don't have a million lower cost things or like a million high cost things. It's like a decent spread from lower and then tapers off as you go higher up the curve. And essentially you want that because you don't want to draw your hand and it's a bunch of 4, 5, and 6s, because you'll just lose to your opponent by not doing anything. So that's the basics of building a league deck. You'll see here we're already rank 18-10, and we didn't even play any games. Obviously, as more people join, your rank's gonna go down. But if we see, oh, that's a leaderboard. If we see prizes, you're not going to get bumped down under 10,000. So that's why I said at the beginning, your lowest tier, you end up getting 7 free packs and a random premium uncommon. Definitely worthwhile to jam some league games. So that's the basics of your deck building, and we'll just go straight into some games. So this hand's pretty good. We have solid units here, and we have both factions. We'll just need to draw a few more sigils, which if you watch any of my videos, you'll know that's not a problem. Ooh, so this is what I was talking about. He took his final redraw. The only way you want to do that is if your first redraw is still like totally awful. It's just so much of a disadvantage to start off with 1 less card than me. And this like barely even counts as a card. Because it's not a unit. It doesn't really give him any powerful effect. So I'm feeling very confident already just based on that. He didn't even get a second influence. That's like the main reason you would want to play this card, is to help you fix your influence that you have. So basically we have 2 draws until we really want to hit a sigil here. Because this draw, even if we didn't get it, we have the 3 cost thing to play, and then second draw for the sigil to play Valise. Living Example is another really good unit, but I'm not too worried about it. Oh, what is this? Oh, wow. This is a good card. It gets, you get +1 power, and then it gets +2/+2. Okay, if this is the case, we won't block, we won't attack, because we don't, I would guess he would just take the 3 damage. We essentially want to keep on growing our board, so we can block his guy. But if he gets that +2/+2 buff, it's gonna be tough to kill that. We need to start hitting our sigils. That was the big turn if we wanted to keep the momentum going, that we wanted the power, but if he's got time sigil, yep, we're in trouble. But if he does attack, we're just going to go block, and hope he doesn't have a fast spell to buff his unit. Nice. So, always, I'm guessing this is a newer player. You always want to attack with your units before you play anything. And the reason why is if he didn't play this and he had 4 power up, I might be dissuaded from blocking because he could have a fast spell to kill one of my guys after I block or buff his unit, and then I would lose both of my units. Now I have perfect information. He can't do anything because he has 0 power left. So I can make this double block and know for a fact he'll kill the 3/3, he loses a 4/4, I keep my 2/2. Whereas maybe I wouldn't have blocked that way if he saved the mana. So that's the thought process there. We're going to play Valise, use all of our power, pass the turn. No real decision there. He has to attack with a 5/4, but we just won't block. We don't want to trade Valise for his 5/4. Yep. No blocks. Okay, so ideally, or wait a minute, so that could have 3 power. So what I'm thinking now is if I attack with these 2, they'll both get the +1/+1. But there are a bunch of 3 cost stealth units that have 3 power. So if I attack with this, turns into a 5/5, he blocks with a 3 and a 2. He could trade 2 of his weaker units for our really strong one. So because of that, we're just going to use the weapon, give her the health buff, and attack with both. Wow, now that is a tough decision. Oh man, we want all of these cards. I think we're just going to pitch the sigil because we can draw more sigils. Oh wow. It's a 4/4. Okay. How did it get that buff? Huh. Okay, that's interesting. Oh, this guy, obviously. Okay, now we're in trouble because he's going to swing back at us for 11 here. That's not great. And I did misspeak when we were opening packs earlier. The +1/+1 is only temporary. Oh man, I don't like him hovering over. Yeah, this is that went from pretty good to not great. This being the 3/3 that got the +1/+1 was really bad for us. Okay, that was a really good draw because now we can go Sigil, play our 6 cost, reveal his guy, and get his max effect. Gives him +2 health. Pass the turn because we are now the defensive player, so we need to make sure we stop his attacks. And he is... This guy's giving him a lot of power this game. But now, none of his attacks are very good. That's fine, we'll block here. Hope he doesn't have anything to deal damage. Okay, we might be able to start stabilizing here. So we're going to play Growing Sludge past the turn. Once again, we're starting off with Growing Sludge as opposed to something else because it can grow. We want it to start growing as quickly as possible. Opponent's really thinking about this attack here. Okay, we'll call his bluff. He might have drawn something. He was taking a lot of time to think. Nope. Okay, play the flyer. And we'll fire off Trailblaze. Do we just want a 2/2? I think just we want any unit at this point. Anything that can just block seems fine. Now let's see. Can we afford to attack with 2 things? We really can't. So we'll just play the 2/2 without the tribute. If another of your units hits the enemy player. So we can let this guy hit us for 1. This is going to be a tough game to win here. Our opponent's 1 bomb away from really ruining our day. We've used most of our, I think, 2 of our 3 rares, and we're still struggling. Okay, I mean, we're going to do the same thing here. I don't know why our opponent keeps thinking... He obviously doesn't have anything, otherwise he would have killed it right away. Block, and we're going to take the 2 because we can ultimate this guy to make him a 4/4, which can then block his 2/2. Oh. Wow. Okay. Oof. Okay, that is not good for us. Can we attack with 2 things now? So essentially this hatchet is going to kill our 2/2 anyways. So I'm going to attack with... I'm going to attack with these two. That way he's forced to double block if he wants to kill this. And actually, he would need to block with both of those two units, because 2 plus 4... Or actually, no. I don't know what I'm thinking. That only goes to 6. Yeah, so attack with both. Draw a card. We don't really want the Nurturing Sentinel. Hope he blocks with one of his 2 units. Oh, that's really good for us. He's going to lose that unit and still take 8 damage. Oof. And we'll play Spear Driver that can block his 2/2 flyer. This is going to be a tough game, I'm telling you. Okay, so he has a combat trick of some sort here. Opponent? That was a incredibly bad attack for our opponent. Okay. Oof. Okay, so we don't have both factions. Oh boy. And we can't even cast our... This is a redraw. I think it's close. Yeah, okay. This is way better. We got 3 sigils instead of 2 on both of our factions. Stronger cards, I would say, on average. So I've been holding Bottled Insight till I can amplify it once. We'll probably just save it. Basically, we're trying to eke out as much value as we can from each of our cards, since a lot of our cards are weaker. Since we build this week 1, it's only 8 packs. And right now our opponent's doing the opposite. He discarded Growing Sludge, which is a super powerful card. Pass the turn, no 2-drops, which is unfortunate, because ideally we could block these guys, so... He's going to peck us for 2, that's fine. We'll get to play a 3-drop, which blocks both of his units. That, however, is unfortunate. So play our 3/3 pass. If he attacks with everything, we'll just need a trade with Ursa Squadron, just because you can't let him continually Warcry. If he has a combat trick here, that's probably just game. Okay. Okay, and he missed a sigil. So we'll play our Cyclops. It sucks that we couldn't get the spark and just kill one of his soldiers here, but it's fine. So we need him to start tripping up, but maybe miss a unit or something. Just because he's getting there. 3 costs 3/3 with endurance. Okay, and we still have solid blocks, so this is definitely sigil. And as basically every game, I feel like we've had Growing Sludge and this guy a lot together. Always lead off with Growing Sludge, so it can grow as quick as possible. Unless if I needed a blocker right away, then that would be a case in where I would play this guy because it's a 5/4. So what I'm going to do here, instead of growing my board, is we're going to bounce back the 3-cost stealth just to reveal it and see what it is. Okay, so it's the 3-2. That's fine. And then, do we want to attack here? We'll trade with the 3-3. We have 3 cards in hand. He's got 3 cards in hand. I think that's fine. Pass a turn. Oh, he's going to do the same to me. It's fine. So even though he returns it to the hand, it's still going to stay a 5-5. So we're going to take our medicine here, but we'll be able to grow our board decently here. Attack with a 4-3. And now we're going to play Gnashing Displacer. And the reason why now I'm switching this is because ideally he's going to see Growing Sludge and be like, wow, I need to kill that thing ASAP. So hopefully I'm trying to bait out a spell that he'll use to reveal my guy. And then we'll be able to follow up with our Growing Sludge next turn. Okay, so he didn't have anything. I like that. Ooh, that's nice. Okay, here. So we know that's a 3-2, which he can trade for a 4-3. So that's not great. So this is a pretty simple. 1 mana, we'll use our Elysian Blueprints. It doesn't matter which sigil we get. We'll play our Growing Sludge and then pass the turn. The reason why I'm keeping sigil in hand is because maybe when we Bottled Insight, it keeps us a sigil that we can just discard when we amplify it. Oh, use it on the Displacer. Yep. So you see all the value we got from that? He bounces that back in hand. It doesn't matter, meaning our other guy got to survive still hidden. So this is where, you know, this is where the strategy comes in here. Okay, this is an interesting attack here. How best can we get our value? So I think we can't be greedy here. We'll block that guy and maybe just eat one of this. We'll take 3, 6, 7, but we reduce his board by 3 units. We could trade for the 3-2, but now this just, let's see, or, so let's see, we take 4 damage, or we take 7 damage here going to 6 versus 5 damage going to 8. Actually, you know, we'll trade off here. I'm feeling pretty confident about our hand. Because now, in this case, we'll just play the Stranger, and we'll play 5-drop. And then pass. Okay, interesting. So we each draw a brand new 7. Now, this card isn't great. He essentially used his whole turn, and I'm going to be able to start my turn with 7 brand new cards full power, whereas he just wasted his whole turn to do that. So it's kind of like, even though we both got the same benefit, we get to benefit from the cards we draw first. So this card is really not a card you want in your deck. Unless you have some crazy bomb that you're really looking to draw into. Okay. So let's see, we have some solid options here. I'm just going to attack with both. That's a really bad block. Okay, that's fine. This is a very strange block because he takes 4 damage. And since we have our, where is it, Behold the Truth, we're just going to play as many units as we can. So we'll do her. This is an explorer. Not that we have any dinosaurs, actually. And now, ideally, we'll be able to just play Behold the Truth, give our team +3/+3 and Overwhelm, and attack for game.
Just don't look down.
But we'll see. It depends on what he does. I assume we'll use the killer on the 2/2 he's hovering over. So let's see. He attacks with the 3/6 here. Oh, man. Let's see. So you go Behold the Truth, attack with everything. 3/6 goes on one of our Overwhelm guys. So 8, he'll take 2 from that block. He'll take 5 for 7. He'll take 3 by blocking there, and then take 4. So I think that's just game. Now he could have, if he has telekinetic shackles or a buff spell, this will not be game. So, oh, yep, so he has something. Who's our opponent got here? For 2. Maybe a teleport. Oh. Guess he had something, but it wasn't that good. Well, sweet. We got our last win of the week. So we ended 7-3. I'm not going to complain with that. That's a 70% win rate, and that gives us a good start to finish top 500 for this league. And as I kind of talked about, my personal goal is usually to get top 500 because that's the biggest jump. You go from a premium rare to a premium legendary, and if it's something you don't like, you convert it to Shiftstone. You can get any legendary you want. Ideally, for everybody else, even if you lose 40 games, you'll end up with the 7 additional packs. So you see, the games are pretty even. You aren't just like, oh, he has 10 legendaries in a crazy deck, so I lost. And that's why I really like League. So if you're newer, or you just don't have a giant collection, it's a really good alternative to just playing ranked or casual. That's basically League. You got to see some good games there. What I'll do is I'll edit in the last game I play of this week's League. That way, at least you guys get to see my record at the end of week 1. There you have it. I mean, that's League. I hope I went over everything decently well. If there was anything that maybe I glossed over too quickly, or any of like the general deck building advice that I gave that maybe I talked about a concept that you didn't quite understand, just leave a comment down below, and I can make one of these videos every league that comes out, and keep trying to get more people into the game, basically. That's kind of my goal. League is the best thing for beginners to play, but I know a lot of them are worried and unsure of how to really be successful in League. So hopefully this helped. If it did, hopefully I'll catch you guys back on the channel. But I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace!